People forget this truth. Just because your worth isn't recognized today doesn't mean you don't have value. Sometimes life hides your purpose until the exact moment you're meant to shine. In a quiet coastal town where the ocean whispered against the rocks and fishermen lived simple lives, there was a humble workshop owned by an old craftsman named Ravi. He created containers, jars, and vessels of all kinds, each shaped with patience, each fired with care. Most people came to him because his work lasted for years, sometimes decades. One summer, Ravi crafted four remarkable clay vessels. Their curves were smooth, the patterns elegant, and the colors richer than usual. Anyone who passed the shop could tell they weren't ordinary. But something strange happened. Days went by, and though Ravi's usual pots sold quickly, these four remained untouched. Why would the finest creations sit unwanted? Weeks turned into months. As they gathered dust on the shelf, the four vessels began to feel forgotten. If objects could think, their thoughts would have been heavy with disappointment. One evening, when the workshop lamps flickered warmly and the door was shut for the night, the first vessel finally spoke in a low, frustrated tone. "I was meant to stand in a grand home," it said. "People would admire me, polish me, place me where everyone could see. That was supposed to be my life. Instead, I sit here, ignored, overlooked, unseen." The second vessel let out a tired sigh. "I always imagined becoming a lamp. I would have carried light for a family, brightened their nights and kept the darkness away." Its voice cracked as it added, "But here I am, just a forgotten piece of clay." The third vessel chimed in with a sad laugh. "You think you're disappointed? I wanted to become a money jar, to hold people's savings and be a symbol of discipline and dreams. I wanted to feel full, always wanted, always useful. But I've never held even a single coin." They all turned toward the fourth vessel. It was quiet, calm, almost peaceful. "Why aren't you miserable like us?" the others demanded. "You've also been here for months. Don't you feel useless?" The fourth vessel smiled softly. "I had a dream too," it admitted. "I wished to become a children's toy. I imagined tiny hands playing with me, laughter echoing around me, and joy filling my days. But I've learned something while waiting here." The others leaned closer. "What?" "That dreams don't die, they evolve. Just because one path didn't open doesn't mean another won't. Our time may not have arrived yet. Maybe life is preparing us for something else." The room fell silent. His words weren't loud, but they carried hope. Hope the others had forgotten they needed. Weeks passed again. Seasons shifted. The chill of winter gave way to warm breezes. Fishermen returned earlier, thirsty from long hours on the sea. Families walked the markets searching for cool drinking water. And suddenly the villagers needed sturdy containers, vessels that could keep water crisp and refreshing through the heat. Ravi took the same four clay vessels and displayed them near the doorway. This time people stopped immediately. "These look strong," one villager said. "These patterns, look at the craftsmanship," said another. Within minutes, all four vessels were purchased, not just bought, but chosen with excitement. They were filled with clean, cool water and placed in homes across town. They quenched thirst, brought relief, and offered comfort during hot afternoons. For the first time, they weren't sitting on a shelf wondering why they existed. They were living their purpose. The first vessel realized it didn't need to sit in a rich man's house to be respected. The second discovered it could refresh people even without carrying a flame. The third found itself filled, not with coins, but with something more meaningful, water that sustained life. And the fourth vessel understood that joy comes not from the form of a dream, but from the heart behind it. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the four vessels reflected on their journey. "Maybe we weren't overlooked," said the first. "Maybe we were being saved for the moment we were truly needed." "Maybe," said the second, "we were never useless. We were simply waiting for the right season." The third vessel whispered, "What if failure isn't failure? What if it's preparation?" And the fourth, with the same calm smile as before, added, "Life never shuts a door without opening another. We just don't always see the hallway in between." Patience is not waiting, it's trusting the process. The old craftsman, Robbie, watched the vessels from afar and smiled knowingly. He had always believed every creation had its moment. Some moments simply take longer to arrive. You see, many people live like those vessels. They think, "I'm behind, I'm failing, everyone else is moving ahead while I'm stuck." But life is not a race. Life is a series of seasons, and not all seasons bloom at the same time. Have you ever wondered why certain opportunities didn't work out? Why some dreams broke? Why some paths closed? Maybe those things weren't meant for who you were then. Maybe life was waiting for a stronger version of you. Think about it. A seed buried in soil looks like it has been abandoned, but that very darkness is where its growth begins. A diamond is born under pressure. Gold is purified by fire. So why do we assume our struggles mean we have no worth? Maybe your moment is approaching. Maybe the thing you've been praying for needs you to mature just a little more. Maybe the delay is protection. Maybe the rejection is redirection. The vessels understood one truth. Just because your dream doesn't unfold the way you imagined, doesn't mean your life is off track. Sometimes the dream changes, but your purpose stays the same. To serve, to grow, to shine. When destiny calls your name, even delays cannot deny you. So to whoever is listening, you are not behind. You are not less than others. You are being shaped, strengthened, and prepared. One day, everything will make sense. One day, the doors that stayed shut will feel like blessings. One day, you will look back and say, "Now I understand why it had to happen this way." And when that day comes, remember the vessels. Remember their patience. Remember their faith. Remember how their worth didn't decrease just because they waited longer. Your story isn't over. Your value hasn't changed. Your season is coming. If this story touched your heart, make sure to like this video and support the channel Winds of Thought. Share it with someone who needs hope today. And remember, your purpose is waiting for its perfect moment.